Let's jump right in, guys. And now we know that the Dallas Cowboys have defeated the Detroit Lions 24-20. And as a result, Dallas will take on the Green Bay Packers next week. What do you think about this matchup here, guys? What stands out immediately when you think of Cowboys and Packers besides the Ice Bowl?
Aaron Rodgers and Tony Romo. I think that's the biggest thing, is which one of these gunslingers are going to come out on top. And this is going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game up front of the O-line versus D-line, Clay Matthews versus the tackles of Dallas. And it's going to be Aaron against Tony. I think it's going to be a great matchup. I'm looking forward to it.
It's a little bit flipped on what the matchup, the keys to the matchup were today between Dallas and Detroit. We talked about this game previewing it, said it was all about this Detroit Lions defense that was playing so well this year, and were they going to be able to slow down the running game of the Cowboys? I think that flips next week, and now the focus is going to be on that Cowboys defense as they face Aaron Rodgers, who him and his team have been dominant at home this year, one of the best offenses in the National Football League. And even Tony Romo in his post-game interview was asked about next week, and he said, we're going up against one of the best, if not over the last 3 or 4 years, the best offense in the National Football League. Obviously, Tony can't control that, but I think from an offensive perspective, he knows that going into that game, even though the Dallas Cowboys defense has improved this year, they're still not great, that he might have to get into a little bit of a shootout because Aaron Rodgers, Jordy Nelson, Eddie Lacy, all those weapons that they have, they can score points at home.
Who has the edge, though? Because, the Dallas Cowboys have not lost on the road this season, right? And we know about the Lambeau Field effect, but who do you think has the edge here ultimately, guys? Early prediction time.
I have to go Green Bay. I mean, when you're playing in the elements of Green Bay, I think you really have to think about it. It's going to be cold. It's going to be very cold. And is Tony Romo ready? Is his back ready?
Yeah.
How much is that weather going to affect his back and locking up out there? Because I know right now my hip is hurting just walking outside.
Just thinking about how cold it is,
exactly.
Right? Yeah, I would lean towards Green Bay as well. I just think they've been too strong. They've had an extra week off. They're going to be a little bit more healthy. And some people might not think much about it because it's a game of football, but there's really something to be said about playing in the elements, and it will be really cold, in my opinion. Well, we don't know that for sure. Obviously, we'll have to check the forecast, right. But chances are it's going to be nasty in Green Bay, and I think that
Tony Romo,
them.
Of course, grew up there in Wisconsin and was a big fan of Brett Favre growing up. Tony Romo, by the way, was second in the Mr. Basketball contest, I guess, in the state of Wisconsin. Only behind Caron Butler.
Okay.
So Tony Romo was second there as far as the Mr. Basketball balloting his senior year of high school there in the state of Wisconsin.